Doesn't matter if you're like, oh, I'm a small business owner or I'm in the corporate cog. You
Right.
still can have authority. That's the key. I knew my area of genius. I live in the world of multiple right answers. You can go out on your own, and if it's not
Yes.
your thing, you can go back to something else. There's no wrong journey for someone.
What's called rapport factor. And the rapport factor basically means that a person has to like and trust you before they do business with you.
Start right now. There's no reason why you can't start today to say, this is what I'm really good at. This is my area of genius.
Right.
You've made it this far without
Right.
my help, without anybody else's help.
Yes.
You will continue to make it. The question is, do you want the path to be smoother and easier or not?
This is Curtis McCullom with the Curtis McCullom Show, where we delve into the mindset of top CEOs and founders actually around the world, where they kind of share with you what it takes to be and become the best version of yourself. Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Now, Bespoke help high achieving CEOs and entrepreneurs who's kind of tired, really tired of silently struggling, but you're ready to eliminate those lone standing blind spots and kind of fully step into your next level of success. You step into this success with freedom, with emotional freedom, with clarity and deep alignment. What does that mean for you? That means that now you have better connections with your employees and better connections with the people who are around you that you love and care for. And because you now have this emotional freedom, your income and your revenues can increase also. So if you're feeling a little stuck or like something is holding you back, please don't wait. Please schedule a free clarity call with me today using the link below. And let's kind of really uncover what's standing in your way from moving forward. And if you're liking and enjoying this show, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a review. Your support helps us actually reach more people who are ready to transform their lives. Today in studio, we have with us Lisa Apolinski.
Polinski, so close.
But Lisa basically it's what she does, guys. She does something extremely special for all of us, and I love this content that we're going to be recording today because it helps us go with authority. She helps you take your practice. She's been doing this for 30 years. You'll never know it when you've seen this on video. You'll never know she's been doing it. She's been doing it since she was 3 years old, guys. But she consults consultants, authors and speakers and agency owners to discover and rediscover their authority and their power. We need this. She's written a book, several books actually, including Persuade with a Digital Content Story, just to name a few of them. But Lisa, just welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us today.
Absolutely, Curtis. It's wonderful to see you again. We had such an awesome time when we talked last time. I'm like, oh, we should have recorded this,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll get back into it.
Sometimes the pre-recordings is the recording. It should be the one that we actually be recording because I think one of the reasons is that we're just like talking. We're just being friends. We're just connecting with each other and just kind of letting it flow. But today we could do the same thing. We could do the same thing today. Just let it flow and just let it go and just be ourselves. I made a concerted effort a few weeks back, about a month or so back. 'Cause you know what, guys? I'm just going to be me. You either like me or hate me. That's your problem, not mine. If you like me and you like what I do, hey, let's get together. If not, that's okay. There's other people out there that you can connect with. And with that belief and that feeling, I feel like I'm free. I can just be me, be Curtis.
Perfect. Because there's only one Curtis.
That's it.
Why
That's
why
it.
would you want to be anything else?
Why will I? It's like, why would I want to be anything else? Now, Lisa, you have a very interesting journey on how you got to be where you are now. Now, how did you get to where you are? I know you got a very interesting story, your journey, how you got here. So kind of share with the audience a little bit about your journey to get into this story.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I started my career in 1997.
Wow.
So that was a long time ago. I got to I got to see the internet come into play, the use of email, mobile phones becoming a thing. I've got to have a front row seat to all these technological advances.
Right.
And even with digital technology, all these new inventions, people still want to purchase from people they know, like, and trust. Now,
Bottom line.
how you get to that point has changed, but the fundamental concept of it has not. People want to connect, they want to find clarity, they want to find rapport, and within that, they develop trust. When I started my journey in 97, I was doing all sorts of corporate jobs. I worked for several Fortune 500 companies throughout my career. But even within those spaces, it doesn't matter if you're like, "Oh, I'm a small business owner," or I'm in the corporate cog. You
Right.
still can have authority. That's the key. I knew my area of genius, and I knew how to make myself known within my organization.
Okay.
So, I was in the corporate world for many, many years, and then in 2012, I decided to branch out on my own. I think I shared with you my this origin story that I was in Milan, Italy, and I was in my hotel room, and I had just had a 16-hour day, and it was horrible, and my boss was being a boss and just not very nice,
Right.
and I called my sister, and my sister let me vent for a few minutes, and then she asked me about my side gig. I had been doing side work. You know, a lot of my vendors that I worked with Fortune 500s wanted me to come in and provide my expert opinion in blog form. Blogs were the thing back then, right? Everyone wanted a blog,
Yeah, everybody wanted to
and
blog.
everyone wanted a blog. And I got to mouth off and share all of my opinions. And like you said, just be authentically me. Very mouthy, very opinionated. And I was sharing those stories and how the vendors had been asking me questions about what should they do here and how should they do this, and were really respectful and listened to my opinion and really nice stuff. And my sister let me talk about that for a couple of minutes. And then she said, if that brings you that kind of joy, why isn't that your full-time job? And I had never thought to leave the corporate world. I thought I would become a chief marketing officer, potentially one of the C-suite employees in a large organization. I thought that was my journey. And it turns out it was not. And that about 3 months later, I resigned from my job. Yeah. Absolutely had a panic attack the week before in the parking lot of Target. I can see it like it was yesterday. Like, you're going to leave a good,
Uh,
reasonable, you know, steady income with benefits to
yeah,
go out on
been
your
there.
own. Are you insane? And I knew having a moment meant, okay, you understand what is at stake. And I live in the world of multiple right answers. You can go out on your own, and if it's not
Yes.
your thing, you can go back to something else. There's no wrong journey for someone. But I started that journey with my organization, Three Dog Right. And the funny thing on the way to the forum or on the way to having my own company, when I had given my notice to go part time, I went part time,
Okay.
which no book ever said that you can go part time and then grow your business. So I had somewhat of a steady paycheck while I was building my book of business. And I was meeting a vendor and we were outside chatting. I was living in San Diego at the time. So you do all your meetings outside. And a former colleague walked past and said, "Hey, what have you been up to?" And I shared, I'm going to be starting my own company. And he's like, "Oh my God, we need your services. I'm going to make an introduction with this individual. We absolutely have to have you come work with us." So, but it was an easy conversation because I had done the authority work in advance, right? He knew what I could do. He knew what kind of an individual I was. He knew what my area of genius was because I had taught, I had spoken, I had written things, I had done seminars, I had, spoken on podcasts. And it was an easy introduction. And when that person looked me up, The proof was already there, so I did the work already. So you may say, "Oh, I haven't done any of that yet." Start right now. There's no reason why you can't start today to say, "This is what I'm really good at. This is my area of genius." If
Right.
I had, you know, 30 clients like this doing this type of work, or if you're in a corporate setting, if I had these types of projects every single time or 90% of the time, and I'd be cooking with gas. This would be great. I would just be running off to the races. Well, everything was going great until 2022. I had to think for a second. And things started shifting again. I had actually been doing a lot of work with Fortune 500s because I understood the how things worked. I understood the politics. I understood how things had to be approved because I came from that environment. So it was very easy for me to become a preferred vendor. And I noticed that every 2 or 3 months, all of a sudden, one of the employees would be gone. My contact would be gone. And there'd be no mention. It'd be like, oh yeah, that person's not here anymore. And that that would be the end of it. It was like, did they win the lottery? Have they been abducted by aliens? Like, what's happening here? And it would just be like, oh yeah, they're not here. And I'd have to start my process over with a new person. And every time that happened, I got pushback, pushback, pushback. And my momentum kept stalling. And while that's happening, I'm having conversations with authors and small business owners who would come up to me at a conference, at, an event where I've been speaking, or, had read on books, one of my books, and contacted me and said, I know you only work with Fortune 500 companies, because that was my thing, right? That was my shtick. But would you be willing? I'm going to throw a bunch of money at you. Would you be willing to work with me? And it took several of those for me to go, there's something here. Maybe I should shift my focus. So, you know, as much as, I know quite a bit, there's also a lot that you don't see. Like you were saying, there are blind spots that you simply are not privy to. And until it gets smacked in your face several times, you know, it might take you a while to get there. I wish I had met you in 2022, because I could have had a conversation and saved myself a lot of the, you know, rowing in place to stay in one spot, simply because it was my spot
Well,
and no
and that's
other
the thing
reason.
about it, though, man. I think. I mean, going back, I want to go back and touch on a couple of things you talked about. Number one, you said, we should have authority, and the challenge, personally, that with this system that we're in right now. Number one, being authentic to who you are. You remember I opened with that, being authentic to who I was, and then the other part of that is there's so much noise out there now, Lisa. I mean, it's so much noise. And so, how can individuals now even determine if you have authority or not, because of the fact that people are creating much easier, faster, because of AI and all of these other tools that we currently have, that they can even look like, smell like they do know what they're talking about, which they may or may not. And so, it's so much noise out there. So, how will a person now really kind of navigate these waters that we're currently in? Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs, founders, and entrepreneurs get rid of those blind spots that they've been carrying around since childhood. So if you're stuck and have some blocks, click the link below for your clarity call, or scan the QR code if you're on video. Let's get rid of those blinds. Now back to the interview.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question. And in fact, I'm doing a LinkedIn newsletter edition that's going out today that talks to that to a degree. I talk about spotting the bully who disguised as an expert, right? There are so many individuals who will tell you that they're experts, who will tell
Correct.
you that they're
Right.
authorities. I always love to look at actions over words. And I'm actually going to go from the bottom of my newsletter up. So, and it's funny because I just wrote it. So It's fresh in my mind. What are they doing in the community to highlight and showcase their authority?
Okay. So what?
Do
So
they
stop right. So right. Okay.
Yeah,
So you're going to explain that because I want to just throw this in because I met a couple of people who put doctor in front of their name, right? And they've gone to these these meals and says, okay, I'm a doctor of whatever, and they're not. To me, that's just outright wrong.
yeah, yeah,
Because I know what it takes for a person to get a doctorate degree. I know what it takes for a
right.
person just to get a bachelor's degree. I know what it takes for a person to get a master's. And I really know what it takes for a person to get a PhD or a doctorate degree. And for a person to go to a mill and say, I'm a doctor, then advertising themselves like that, I think is wrong. But go ahead and share what you're saying now. You're saying you started from the bottom up.
Yeah, so when you look at how they're showing up in their community, what kind of outreach they do, are they sharing content that serves their community, that helps their community,
Okay.
whether or not they get work or a client out of it? Or is all their content really advertisement to sell?
Okay.
It's
So
it's
give me an example of
advertisement.
that.
Sure. So I get in mails all the time from individuals who want to connect with me, which is great. And I believe there's no cost to a conversation. But when they start, and I teach my clients this too. And I had a client that wanted to do this, and I was like, no, 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 we never do this. You outreach with the person, and the first thing that people who are simply hoping to get money from you will do, and I'm sure you've seen this, you get 5 paragraphs of all the services they provide, and then they ask for a meeting. What have you actually done for me?
Yeah, I agree.
You've absolutely made it about you and not me.
Well, this
To
is the
me,
thing about it. Go me
yeah.
hold on one second. I want to kind of jump in here a little bit. I remember many years ago, I wrote I did a, now it was a podcast back then, it was a podcast. They did something uh, on one of these success magazines or whatever, and I did a thing on it. And it was called Rapport Factor. And the rapport factor basically means that a person has to like and trust you before they do business with you. And a person, they might like you. Hi, Curtis, I like you, but they don't trust you. Trusting meaning like they wanted to give you business. And I'm a totally agreeing with you on that. I mean, I hate the fact that it's like, look, I mean, it's almost like dating, right? You don't go on the first date. In the first date, you like reach in and kind of try to kiss somebody on the first date. You don't know me like
Right,
that.
yeah, you don't know me, stop. Exactly, that's exactly it. But that's our instinct. Our instinct is, "Oh, you're talking to me. This
Right.
is an opportunity." And I'm not saying people are doing this because 'cause they're bad. I'm not putting morality into this.
Mhm.
It's just they're showing up in a way that's not an authority. I've had conversations with CEOs, again, from Fortune 500 companies all around the world, and I've consulted with them.
Okay.
I never sit there and sell my services. Instead, I look at first I listen. I ask questions and I actually listen.
Right.
Tell me about what you're going through. Tell me about things that are working well. Tell me about areas that if someone could wave a magic wand and go boop, it would it would help you sleep better at night. Some of the areas are not my area of expertise, but I know someone who could help them, that I trust, that I know would deliver. And if I introduce you to someone who is to me has an area of genius, you know that I've worked with them, I've seen what they can do, and it's my reputation on the line. And if I'm making an introduction, it's because I know they can help you
I like it.
and they can do it completely the way it needs to be done and in a manner that's professional. There's no question in my mind. So if you are one of my referral partners,
Right.
you've passed a litmus of tests in my mind. And I've had referral partners that I worked with for years who then suddenly did something ridiculous and I had to stop using them, because again, it's my reputation. My authority is on the line. So if you are providing content where you are sharing tips. If
Okay.
you were going on podcasts and sharing things that have worked for your clients, and you might say, "Oh, you're giving stuff away." Yeah, you should. You should.
I mean, that's what we do. I
AI
mean,
gives it away, right? So
right. I
what
mean,
are
the whole
what are
idea is because we know that if we give, and I'm a very stickler for that, giving value. I don't want to give anything that's
Yes.
not value. It's like,
Yes.
well, I want that. I mean, it's like with my wife, she's very particular about gifts, right? And some people just give you a gift just to give you a gift, but it doesn't. It's something that they they went to a supermarket or something and they saw something. Oh, I got to get you a gift, and so they grab something. And my wife is very particular about listening to what you've said over the whole year, and then coming up with that one thing that you said you may want, but you wouldn't buy it for yourself.
Right.
And so that's
Yeah,
value. And so,
that's value.
what you're saying is that the content and the approach that we should be taking is giving people value to let them know that we are truly an authority in this particular area so that we can help and support them to get to the level that they want to get to. Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs, founders, and entrepreneurs get rid of those blind spots that they've been carrying around since childhood. So if you're stuck and have some blocks, click the link below for your clarity call or scan the QR code if you're on video. Let's get rid of those blind spots. Now back to the interview.
Yes. And when you are an authority, what you're giving away is this much of the entire iceberg,
Absolutely.
right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it is a fraction of what
Yeah,
you can do.
absolutely.
So it's okay to give it away. AI can only do that much. So if people want just competent, they'll go to AI. But if they want a true authority who can really set them on the path to success, absolutely, they need to, and they'll see it. They'll see it in how they show up. And I see it every single time. People panic and they try to shove services on people. And that you can certainly do it that way, but I would guess that any possible credibility and relationship building that you've done to that point has just been eroded. You're asking before you are giving, which
Yes.
makes it feel very one-sided. And I sit there and like you, what's the value for me? If I'm giving you my time, what value is that to me? When I ask someone to do a coffee chat with me, I do the coffee chat because I want to know more about them
Okay.
and I want to see what I can do within my community to make connections for them so that they move further on their success journey.
I love that.
And
I love
that's
it.
it. That's it.
That's it.
And people are very confused when you do that.
Well, because they're looking for they looking. Sometimes when I invite people to the podcast, they're like, "Okay, so what's the catch? I mean, how much is it? What do you have to pay me?" I'm like, "Huh?" I mean, the whole idea is for you to share some content with individuals that we can both move them along, and just so happen if they need my service or your services, that they now we've built authority that people see you, like you, and trust you, and want to do business with you. That's what it's all about. Now,
Exactly.
change the subject real quick here. You talked about you're about to share with us how you blew everything up 2 years ago.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And I have a couple other, and just to go back, I have a couple other things that talk
Okay.
about the bully disguised as an expert in my
Yeah. Yeah.
newsletter. So make sure you go on to my LinkedIn and subscribe to it. Again, it's free.
Right.
Happy to give it away. So in 2022, when I realized that I needed to shift, I decided, I need to shift everything. At that point in time, I was a full service agency. I had a team of 15. I worked probably 80 hours a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I traveled a lot. And my ODI, my owner discretionary income, was not at the level that it should have been for my gross revenue.
Right.
All my, and I use
What
subcontractors.
let's stop
All
right
of
there,
them
Lisa,
made
before
money
you
off of me.
say right, right. So share with the audience what that means because
Yeah, so
that's a
I didn't
lot.
pay myself. I did not pay myself. I did
Right.
all the work and made a whole bunch of money for everybody else. And then I was left with scraps. And I thought, this isn't really sustainable.
That's what I want. I wanted plain talk for people to truly
Yeah.
understand, because this happens a lot. Even happened in my life where everybody else is getting everybody else is getting paid, and
Yeah.
then you look up, it's like, I've been just doing charity work.
Right. 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 And, my business model, and that's what helped me to transition. My business model, when I had a subcontractor give work, I
Right.
never marked it up. It was a pass-through cost
Okay.
because that's the right thing to do. Yeah, you can have a markup and you can certainly do that, but I thought, they could contract this with this person directly, you know, what value am I really bringing just by making that introduction?
Okay.
So I already had that mindset. So when I shifted, where I just went, okay, I'm only going to focus on content. That's where I started. That's where my passion is. That's where my area of genius is. That's where I want to be. And how content can be used to attract right fit clients. And that's it. I can make the introductions to these subcontractors. I still have them. And since I wasn't making any money off of them anyway, I could just pass them along
Right.
and be done. So that was a very easy thing to do, and to just strip down to really, again, that niche within a niche, that core competency that I know that I bring, where I provide a tremendous amount of value.
Love
And
it.
people make a ton of money off of learning the foundational elements I teach them on authority because I apply them every single day. So when I was going through that, I was creating programs, I was creating messaging, and we talked about this. I would thing, and I thought it's personal branding. I just wrote a book on it. It's personal branding. And I did all these programs, did all this work, and I launched it. And after, I think it was like 6 weeks, I got 0 clients.
Right.
0.
Right.
And I went, that's not working. So, and we talked about this, right? That if you have a vendor, and I'm going to go back. This is a little bit into my LinkedIn newsletter again. If you have a vendor that makes it seem like you can't do it without them, or somehow they're your lifeline, run. Don't walk, run away. And let me tell you why. And I know I'm probably going to piss off some consultants, and I don't care. You've made it this far without
Right.
my help, without anybody else's help.
Yes.
You will continue to make it. The question is, do you want the path to be smoother and easier or not? The path is still there. You picked the right path. No one can take that from you. You've made it to this point. What you're looking for is to level up in efficiency, in scale, in revenue growth, in ease of getting customers. That's what you're looking to do.
Absolutely.
So anyone that shows up and says, you're going to die and I'm the only person that can
Yeah, I
save
mean,
you,
that's even
absolutely
I mean,
not.
I am that's even when people when I talk to individuals about being the best version of themselves. You've already been there and done that, and have some learnings and had a lot of successes. I understand that. And by applying some of the techniques and the knowledge that I have, that will make your journey so much easier, faster, and you can get to the point where you want to get to
Right,
quicker. And I truly
right,
believe that you shouldn't be with me for a lifetime,
right.
because of the fact that if I'm teaching you the techniques, you have all the resources within yourself to become the best version of yourself. I'm just uncovering those things with you so that now you can operate more efficiently. So I'm with you. It's like the whole
Yeah,
ideal is like, sometimes people say, well, this is the only way. I mean, okay, I've been there,
yeah.
done that.
That's
There's
another
no
red flag. That's another red flag.
there's no only way. I mean, one of my
Yeah,
teachers told me there's lessons in everybody's path. I mean, whatever a person
right.
does, if it works for you, it works for you. You might not do it exactly the way I do it. That's okay, but it still works. Lisa,
Exactly. Exactly.
so
Yeah.
Lisa, how can they get in touch with you? How can they actually get in touch with you?
Sure. So, if you and again, I love having conversations with people, Curtis, obviously. I'm a big talker. So if you are looking to learn more, if you want to just have a quick conversation, you can either email me. It's Lisa at 3dogwrite.com. It's the number three, dog, DOG, write, like write with a pen, WRITE.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn. That is a huge, huge, huge community for me. You get to see other people within my community and my network that you can have access to, because if you want to go quickly, you go alone. If you want to go far, you take people with you. And if you connect with me on LinkedIn, you should absolutely sign up for my newsletter. I give away a lot of stuff. I give away a lot of stuff. I get yelled at all the time by my partner. He's like, why do you do this? Why are you working for free? Because I'm an authority, and the small amount that I give you is an absolute fraction of all the stuff that
Right,
I can do. And so I'm happy to give it away. If it helps you get your journey going,
right.
and you get success. That's why I'm here. My mission is to make you the clear, no-brainer go-to
I
in
love
your
that.
industry, in your company, wherever you are, so that when someone says, "Oh, I need help with this problem," you're the
You
obvious answer.
right.
Obvious. I mean, there's no question that people are like, "Oh, you got to talk to this person. Oh, you got to hire this person." Obvious answer. So that's the and again, contact me and let's set up a virtual coffee chat. And I'd love to get to know you and learn about your journey, and then see what resources I have available and make connections that will help you go along your success journey to wherever you want to go.
I love that, Lisa. I love it. So, what's one final word we'd like to leave with the audience today, Lisa?
So, wherever you are on your digital journey, on your authority journey, it's like a climb with no summit. You still have 100% to go. I hate to say it never ends, but it never ends. And that's okay. So wherever you are, just start and just keep going.
Wow.
If you're like, "Oh, this is difficult," don't worry about it. Tomorrow was a new day.
That's right.
Just keep going.
Right. Lisa, we'd like to thank you for being on the show today. And we'd also like to thank the listeners for kind of hanging in there with us. What you just shared is kind of what I call the legit mindset of learning, growing, expanding, and transforming. It's because every time we learn a lesson, every time we grow, every time we expand, every time we transform, guess what? There's a new lesson, there's a new expansion, there's a new growth, and there's another transformation. So, like you said before, the growth or is never ending, but we're getting all these new learnings and we are growing and expanding all the way through the process. So that's what it's all about, what I call a legit mindset. Guys, if this
Yes.
episode's kind of really resonate with you today, please, you want to talk to Lisa, reach out to her and get that call, get that individual call with her. She's the type of person that you just want to talk with just to kind of get to know. And as you can see, she's authentic to who she is. She is true to her purpose and her passion, and she shows up every day just like that. That's so important. And also, if you want to just have a clarity call with me, you want to sit down and says, "Hey, Curtis, I just want to talk with you." Let's do it. Let's just sit down, have a conversation, and whether or not I can help you or not, the conversation will still end with that you're moving forward, and that's what it's all about. You moving forward to the best of your ability. Once again, guys, also, you can schedule a free. The link for my meeting is down below in the podcast here, and so with Lisa's information, guys. Once again, I'd like to thank you and continue to move forward, learning, growing, expanding, and transforming. Um, talk to you next time. Thank you.